Camacho-Reyes, and I'm an Army veteran. I joined the military when I was 18 years old, and I served for 13 years. First as a combat medic, and later on as a human resources manager. Currently, I co-own a small business with my husband, Alex. He's also a military veteran. We have 3 children, Melody, John, and Milady. Melody and John are college students, and Milady, she just sang the national anthem. She's a junior in high school. A badass Army wife. Some people think that being in the military is hard. Well, it is. How do I know? Because I served in the military for 13 long years. And I know how demanding that job is. But do you know what else is even harder? Being a military wife. Being a military wife comes without a title, without a rank, without the training, and most of all, without the brotherhood that accompanies the life of a soldier. And that, my friends, is not a very easy pill to swallow. Out of all the jobs that I have done in my life, and believe me when I say that I have had my share of hard jobs, being a military wife has been by far the hardest one. I still remember when I became a military wife 21 years ago. By the time I became Mrs. Morales, I was already a soldier that I had been trained to kill, trained to go to war, trained to survive in the most difficult situations, and mostly trained to save lives. Yes, I was trained to be a combat medic in the military, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. But one thing the military never trained me for was to become a military wife, which I started doing when I was only 20 years old. I have a friend who asked me one time how it felt to be a military wife. When she asked me that question, I realized that as much as I wanted to tell her how I felt, I did not have the words to express all I wanted to say. I froze. And after a while, she changed the topic, and I never got the chance to answer her questions. But now that I think about it, I do have an answer to her question. Military wives come from all backgrounds, and most of us characterize ourselves as strong individuals who are capable of running a household by ourselves and are used to make miracles out of nowhere. You may be thinking, what's wrong with that? Well, let me tell you. Have you ever been put in a position where being strong is the only choice you have, even when the entire world is crumbling on top of you? That's what military wives do every single day. And the difference between our soldiers and us is that we don't get trained for such a challenging job. They do. We're just expected to perform the job and drive on. As a soldier, I had many great experiences, as well as some challenging ones. But none of them could compare to what I was living at home as an Army wife. There were many times when my husband was overseas when I questioned my commitment to the military. And no, I do not mean my commitment as a soldier. I question my commitment as an Army wife. Those 18 months that my husband spent in West Africa were the longest 18 months of my life. At that time, I was not only serving 2 years CONUS mobilization with the Special Operation Command South in Homestead, Florida, but I was also the sole caregiver of three kids who needed my full attention and support, but who also used to go to bed every single night crying because they did not know if their dad was going to come home again. How did I survive those 18 months under those circumstances, you may ask? Well, let me tell you. I became a functional zombie. A zombie who was able to keep 3 kids alive, who was able to keep a household running while serving in the military myself. But most of all, a functional zombie that was able to stay strong amid all the challenges that came into my life during those 18 months. Challenges that I had zero control over them, but that I knew I had to overcome for the well-being of my children. The bottom line is, Marielys the soldier was a very strong individual. But Marielys, the army wife, had to be an even stronger individual, and again, that's a job I was never trained for. But one that I proudly did so that my husband could go and serve his country without having to worry about anything other than the mission he was assigned to do. And for that, I can proudly say that I am not only an Army veteran, but I am also a badass Army wife.